Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Meat and Three Veg. Today's episode is going to be quite short. The missus and I had a pretty big night out last night, so in the interest of using only the energy I have right now, I'm just going to be making a Sunday stock. Technically some stock for the rest of the week, so even in my current state, I'm going to be doing it quickly, and I'll show you how easy it can be. I've got a couple of chicken carcasses currently in the oven, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to prep some onions just by cutting them in half, and they're going to actually join the chicken in the oven. Chicken's been in there for maybe about 20 minutes. It's starting to get pretty browned and toasted, which is nice. Cool. So these onions will go in now. All right, so I generally make stock once a week. Chicken stock usually. It's a very versatile thing that every kind of amateur professional or professional amateur or beginner chef should have in their home kitchen. It's very versatile, it can be used for a whole range of things during the week. I personally use them for any sauces that I have, any reductions, as well as any soups that I make during the week as well. Today, I'm just using some leftover celery and carrots that I had in the freezer. Some garlic that I had lying around that I've decloved and peeled. I've got a whole leek here as well. I'm only using the stem part, the nice white part of the leek. I'm gonna give it a rinse in case there's any sand in there. I want to get rid of that. And look, today is one of those days where, however passionate I am about cooking, I just want to get this done quick. So I'll show you how I can get it done quick, and you can not spend so many hours prepping this. So I'm just going to cut this into circles here, cylinders, I guess. So that's the leek done. I'm going to reserve one leaf of this leek to make as a bouquet garni. And I've also got some old spring onions that I'm going to throw in there as well for that nice woody flavor. So in terms of herbs, we have some hard herbs like thyme and rosemary. It's going to go in. It's going to create the flavor profile for the broth. Some of this butcher's twine. Probably want 2 pieces. I don't need to be too long. And we're using a nice big sauce pot over here to actually cook our stock. Just gonna put all the ingredients that we're gonna utilize in there so I can have some space to actually make my bouquet garni. I'm gonna use pretty much all of these herbs. I'm not really making anything else apart from a soup later on tonight. So pretty much all of these herbs are going to go in. You don't have to do a bouquet garni, you could just have the herbs free floating around. I like to do it because it's just a nice chefy thing and it looks really cool, makes me feel good about myself. It's not hard to do either, and it really justifies me buying butcher's twine. So yeah. I'll just double knot it. Should be right now. Great. Okay, good. That's my bouquet garni ready to go. It's not the prettiest one I've ever done, but it'll do for now. That's our bouquet garni. These are our spring onions, cloves, cardamom pods, bay leaves. Okay, carrots and celery are out now. The garlic will go in when the aromatics go in. Normally you could go it in a bit earlier, but it doesn't really matter to me right now. And spring onions, I'd say the root ends, like so, can go in a bit earlier. And these other bits and pieces go in with the aromats. So a quick check on our chicken. It's getting nice and brown. So I think it's time we fired up our stock pot. You can see here that it's starting to brown a bit. A lot of the juices have rendered out, which is really nice, but it needs a little bit more to go. Seems to be hot enough. A squirt of oil. Just using olive oil today. I'm not gonna lie, that's the loudest it's ever been, probably because they were quite frozen. We're gonna let this one saute out. This is probably going to take 5-10 minutes. All right, So the veggies are actually getting pretty close now. All the liquid's boiled off, pretty much all of it, and you can see that it's starting to get to a point where it's going to start caramelizing pretty soon. You've got to be careful here because this is where you could really take it too far and start burning it. And once you start over caramelizing this in a stock, it can make the stock quite dark. I don't really care if my chicken stock gets too dark. There is another version of chicken stock called white chicken stock rather than what I'm making today, which is the golden chicken stock. It's just presentation. The flavor's pretty much identical. I'm going to turn this heat down now. But as you can see here, this is ready. Whew, this is hot. Hopefully my camera can survive this. Alright, let's bring it in. That's what we're talking about. Oh. So these chicken feet are ready to go in. Great. This boy's pretty happy. This guy's giving me the finger a bit. Alright, now these chicken bones are a little bit too big. These chicken carcasses, so that's why we said we're going to chopping these up a bit. Depending on how you're how you've got these, I got this from the local butcher who just sells them. Actually, this one I think I want to cut it in half again. Out of the entire process to make stock, I find this the most tedious. Now the most important thing is that there's a bunch of roasting juices here. We really want to make sure we preserve this, so very carefully I'm going to pick this up and pour it in. There we go. I'm going to fill this up. I think this is going to be about requiring 3 liters or so. I might be wrong. We get oh no, we need quite a bit more. Right. Great. That's good. Using a ladle. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. So it's been kind of sitting on decently high heat for a little bit. It's close to boiling, and you can see in the process there's a lot of bubbles here, and these bubbles, especially the big white clumps, are actually all that gunk, all that scum that's coming out, and that's what we don't want. So we really want to be careful here because it'll boil soon. We want to use this opportunity to start the skimming process, and then once it starts getting to that low boil or simmer, we still want to continue it. All that. That's a lot of gunk in there. Not add nice flavor. But that's pretty much ready to just slow simmer. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to move it off of this burner because it's the biggest one. Even at the lowest setting, it's too big. So I'm going to move it onto this one. If you don't have that much time, let's say you've only got maybe 2 hours, run it a bit hotter to maximize the extraction of flavor. If you've got time, like I do today, I've got nothing better to do for the rest of the night. It's only like 4 or 5 o'clock right now. I'm going to let this run to like 9, 10 o'clock at night. All right, I'm going to put this one on the fire burner here. Okay. This is ready to simmer. So now the aromatics, I'm comfortable with them going in. Old spring onions, I can just jump in there. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit of dirt on this too, because we're going to strain this whole thing anyway in a fine mesh sieve. Our bouquet garni is going to go in, along with our bay leaves. I like to use a lot of bay leaves. I don't really understand the whole like use one bay leaf and you get all the flavor. Don't believe in that. All of our garlic is going to go in as well. Spread that out nicely. Look at that. Turn on this heat a bit. So yeah, we're going to go garlic everywhere. I love garlic. I could use more, but I don't know, might be too much for some people. Star anise, I use about 4 full ones. for this big pot. It does have a bit of a licoricey flavour, so if you worry about that, then don't use them. Cardamom pods that I've cracked. These are green cardamom pods. I normally don't use them, but I just recently bought them. And then cloves and peppercorns are the last thing, which we'll just chuck in here. It's the last piece. And they're ready to go. Now, I'm just gonna push this stuff down. I think having, I don't know if you can see that. I think having herbs that sit on the top and don't do much is worthless. So, yep. And then we're just gonna put the lid on.
2,000 years later.
All right. So it's been 4 hours. I really haven't had a look at this much. Oh, slight reduction. Oh, what we want. Let's strain this. Okay. My oh my, look at that. Okay. So there's a lot of juices that we really want. Even in stuff like the bouquet garni. Especially stuff like this onion, so like, I'm just gonna push this out. Oh. Can't really see all the juices come out. I'm gonna use this bowl here to just empty a lot of the stuff out. Get the stuff out. Oh. But yeah, that's the finished product, really. It's nice. Well, that sweetness is really coming through with the umami. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to let this cool for about an hour, then cover it up with the lid, and then into the fridge it goes, and I'll be ready to use it tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.